Fearless Freedom Becoming SoulFire. Introduction. When I first signed the contract with the publishing company in January of 2015, I inquired how long it usually takes someone to get a manuscript to them. Do people take a year? I asked jokingly. That's crazy, not me, I said. I will get it to you in a month. It's already written, I just need to organize it. My initial idea was to gather the blogs I had already written over the last 8 years and compile them into a book. As I started arranging them, the thought entered my mind that I should include more of my personal story. I began writing, still with the intention of keeping it a short story blog with more emphasis on yoga and meditation. However, God and the universe had different plans. Fate had it 3 months later in May, just as I finished the introduction on how I healed my lifelong abandonment issue and am finally in a beautiful, healthy relationship with my true love. He walked out on me. Completely devastated, I spiraled down to the darkness again. In the garbage went my manuscript, and I began over. It turns out that my book was not going to be the nice, easy blog compilation after all, but the vulnerable story of my life. This was the last undertaking I wanted to go on. I was trying to move on from my past, not relive it. Nevertheless, somewhere in my awareness, I knew it was all happening for a reason. I have come to learn that my life story is my teaching. My experiences of abandonment from birth until now have had a powerful purpose: to show others that it is possible, no matter what circumstances you come into the world with, to rise out of it, find your wings, and soar. The abandonment, suffering, and pain I chose. I chose it, however, not to wallow in it, but to experience it, transform it, and be a light for others. After all, it is not until we fully know darkness that we can fully know freedom. After working with different editors, although they were helpful in one regard, I felt like my voice was being diluted and my message disappearing. The joy of writing was gone, and feeling disheartened, I almost gave up at one point. Then I remembered the reason for writing my book in the first place. The whole point of my life is not about fitting into a box, after all, but breaking free, being a trailblazer and forging new energetic pathways. So I decided not to use an editor and keep my book as is, in my voice, uncensored, real, and raw. In allowing myself to write my story without worrying about correct parameters or trying to conform, I found the fluidity, freedom, and truth of my soul song. I wrote for me, from the trueness of my heart. When I started this journey, I had no idea how powerful and cathartic it would be. The month turned into nearly 2 years as I journeyed into the center of my sorrow and my deepest pain. I had to walk away from writing numerous times as the past became alive again, along with the feelings I was trying to avoid. Tears are transformation, though. The process of writing my life story healed me as I watched my sorrow turn into joy and my life transform. If no one reads my book, that in itself was worth it. Although I finished writing my life story, a creative portal was opened for me, and I continued to receive inspired messages and continue to write. The quote I have taped on my laptop from a fortune cookie, which I need constant reminder of, is 4 basic premises of writing: clarity, brevity, simplicity, and humanity. I divided the manuscript into 2 books since there was so much. Hence, this is book 1. Book 2 will be released shortly, and I've come to learn there will be book 3. This book is multidimensional. I share my past, but from my soul's understanding and awakening now. Part of the book is present moment realizations as I'm writing, and part of the book is told verbatim in a journal format. I've included poems, parables, prayers, quotes, and excerpts from my favorite authors' books for inspiration as well. I found that people respond to metaphors as a way of learning. Maybe it's because it bypasses the logical left side of the brain and goes into the intuitive right side of the brain and down into the knowing heart. The wisdom teachings of my soul, which you may recognize, are underlined and woven throughout the book. My story is not about the suffering or staying stuck in the human drama. rather transcending it and coming home to the freedom, love, and peace that we already are. It's not about fighting the darkness anymore. It's about simply choosing the light. As a little girl, I questioned what life was really about, thinking, was this all there was to it? You are born, barely get by, work hard, sacrifice your dreams, retire, age, suffer, and then die. I questioned all the needless suffering in the world. How one person, for example, could make millions of dollars to play a game with a ball for entertainment, while thousands of innocent babies and children died every day from starvation. I didn't understand religion or God. What I was taught didn't make sense to me. I was born a seeker of truth, and in my awakening I found it. What I've included in my book is what I have learned from my teachers and other enlightened beings, past and present, along with my own personal realizations. There is only one truth, but different interpretations and expressions of it. Socrates said, learning is remembering. Universal truth and knowledge is not something that someone just now created. It always has been there waiting for us to uncover it. Benjamin Franklin didn't invent electricity, just as Galileo didn't invent gravity. They simply discovered it. We are at a point in our evolution as a species that we are discovering that what's within us, our consciousness, our light, our soul, is the most powerful resource we have, and the only thing left we haven't tried that is going to save the world. Being a devoted student, hungry for healing and understanding on the spiritual path for the last 16 years has shown me that there is no difference between science, quantum physics, yoga, universal law, original religion before man got hold of it, spirituality, and love. Underlying all of it, there is a basic truth, which is what this book is all about. There is a shift happening on our planet. We probably sense it, a stirring and awakening. People are beginning to question their beliefs, their worldview, question many things. There is a desire for less material goods and objects and for more meaning, fulfillment, kindness, peace in the world, and peace in our hearts. We are remembering that we are not separate, even though our bodies might say we are. That the countries and borders of our lands might say we are sorry. But there is another reality. We are re-remembering. We are all brothers and sisters in consciousness, a global family, and that all life is interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent, including Gaia, Mother Earth. The divine truth is that we are one spirit, many forms. It's time to wake up and work together. It is time to be our brothers and sisters' keeper. I honor all people wherever they are in their journey, as we are all on different phases of our spiritual unfoldment. As you read my book, all I ask of you is to keep an open mind and read with your instinctual awareness and intuitive nature that is always present. Feel the energy between the words and the essence of spirit behind what they are expressing. It can serve as a spark to ignite what you already know deep within. Words are not truth. Truth is eternal. Words are a symbol. As I wrote this book, I felt it shifting, changing, and growing as I was evolving alongside of it. What may be my truth might just be a seed of awakening for you, like a sunflower drawing darkness from roots to sunlight. I have infused my healing love into this book. It has been blessed with the most highest of intentions. My hope is that it brings you back to your free heart, wakes you up to the glory, wonderment, and truth of who you really are, and ignites the fire within your own beautiful soul. You are light, you are love, and you are loved. May the beauty of all that you are be reflected back upon you, and may you emanate it out into the world for all to bask in. And this is a quote by Robert Schwartz from the book Your Soul's Plan. As each person releases shame and self-loathing and chooses instead to love themselves, They make it easier for every person on earth to replace self-judgment with self-love. That is, they create a vibration of resonance of love that radiates well beyond their immediate sphere. It is said that the flutter of a butterfly's wings can cause gale force winds on the other side of the globe. In the same way, our decisions to love ourselves have far-reaching energetic effects. As we shift from the perspective of the personality to that of the soul, we recall a truth we knew long before we were born, that our actions, words, and thoughts impinge upon the entire world. By surmounting the challenges we planned before birth, we create a resonance that heals humanity.